everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hail to the Chin podcast. I'm joined, as usual, by guest hosts Sam and Steve. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Now, the season's gone brilliantly. It's everything we've pretty much expected. Now we're down to episode 10. I don't know where I wanted this episode to go, but it's almost turned out better than I even expected. I mean, how do you guys feel?
I didn't know what to expect in the end, and to be honest, it was a real pleasure watching it. You know, you couldn't really expect more from the season finale than what you actually got. So
yeah, it had so much stuff. We're obviously going to get down to the meaty bits within the podcast episode, but there was literally, it was just like a splatterhouse of Easter eggs. I mean, Steve, you'd probably agree with that too, right?
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. I mean, overall, the whole season has just been just glorified fan service at every opportunity, but without being kind of like really cheesy and looking like it was merely pandering for the sake of pandering. It was fan service for a bloody good reason. And I honestly, you know, the finale, it's as good as I hoped it would be. But I think overall, would you not agree that Ash vs Evil Dead is better than anyone probably thought it was going to be?
Absolutely, because as far as I'm concerned, when we had the Comic-Con panel where they were like, some of the people that were attending it were lucky enough to see the first two episodes, but with the panel that Kevin Smith hosted, and to hear Raimi and even Bruce sit there and say, like, this is for the fans wanted this, so here it is. And I think they literally played to those cards, and more so. Like you've said, Steve, they didn't pander around to any references and this, that, the other. They literally done it perfectly.
Yeah, if there was a reference, they made sure all the references were in there, but they made sure they were in there for a proper reason.
Yes.
You know, absolutely. Not just, oh, quick look, there's a reference. Oh, quick look, there's a reference. Just to remind people. And when they said, you know, this is for the fans, they were not fucking lying. They were, you know, that was not like
James Cameron coming out. Remember this line, or remember when we did this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it wasn't like Terminator Genesis thing where James Cameron came out and said, you know, Terminator Genesis, you're going to see some new stuff. I think it's as good. Except no, there was no marketing spiel. It was honesty, and just fucking hats off to them, because
it was. They did when you come back. Well, if you went back to the panel looking at it now, all they literally needed to have said is, "We're going to make another Evil Dead." Like that's almost all they needed to say. We're going to make Evil Dead, but it's going to be a TV show.
Did James Cameron really say that?
Oh, well, during the marketing for Terminator Genesis, James Cameron was interviewed for a YouTube sort of video,
right?
Like a featurette of behind the scenes stuff and some clips from Terminator Genesis where James Cameron's actually saying that this is basically the best Terminator since like Terminator 2. And
he said that,
but not just it's the best Terminator since Terminator 2, because like, you know, that's like picking, you know, which is the best turd you've taken this week. But no, he actually said it was on par with what he had done.
Oh my God.
I was going to say, you can make shit shiny, but it's still shit.
Do you think he's just sort of like softening them up, the people behind it now, because, you know, everyone's going back to their roots almost, you know, Ridley's going back to Aliens and things like that, so he's thinking, after I'm done with the Avatars, maybe I'll do another Terminator or something. If I sit here and slag it off.
It's going to cushion the blow.
Yeah, no, do you know what? Have absolutely no idea whatsoever what motivated that, and maybe probably that was the best thing. But Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, Robert Tappert, they did not lie. They have nailed it. Ray Santiago, Dana DeLorenzo have been fucking just phenomenal. They've been an absolute wonder, a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can get them both like together on the show. Like that would be phenomenal to have them both talking between each other about. I guess an original experience in both of their careers at the end of the day, because I think this is going to do wonders for them as actors in themselves, because they've done so well, and I guess they probably proved a hell of a lot of people wrong, because of the fact of when we first started out here, we were asking questions ourselves. I mean, how do we feel about Ash having a sidekick, and who's this other person with him? Ash has always been on his own. Is this going to work? Fucking did, didn't it?
those characters could not have been better written. Just full stop. There is no way to have improved them. They are the perfect counterweight to Ash in every single way. Their dialogue is punchy. You know, Pablo is like overly polite and nervous. You know, Kelly is just, you know, suddenly sort of takes on the responsibility of fighting Deadites, you know, very much in her stride, and she's strong-headed, strong-willed. She's a really, really great final girl type character.
I prefer her as a hard girl over Michelle Rodriguez in every movie role that she's ever played. You know, Michelle Rodriguez is the almost like the typecast hard girl in anything. I'd take Dana any day of the week,
I think it's because you get more character like development and progression with watching like Kelly, Dana on the screen, whereas you get Michelle Rodriguez to come in and play, you know, basically a female action orientated character, because you don't need to develop the character because it's Michelle Rodriguez. You just know she's, you know, tough.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you get Sigourney Weaver to come into a film to play someone who can kick aliens' ass. You know, you know, you don't need to really develop it. Do you get what I mean? But
yes, no, absolutely.
Whereas, like, you know, Kelly's progression has been, it's been breathtaking. I cannot heap enough praise. And before we get into it as well, more praise for the team over at Ash vs Evil Dead on the social media. They have made sure that people have got, you know, great topics to talk to. They brought the fans together on Twitter and Tumblr. They've released amazing content. You know,
they've really brought the audience together and the fan base into the frame themselves with their interaction on social media themselves toward the fans. Personally, it's been fantastic.
Yep, this has not been a show that's basically been stuck up its own arse at all. It's been for the fans on every level. What you see on the screen and what you experience interactively with the guys over at Ash vs Evil Dead. So yeah,
hats off. But I guess
you forgot to add "call me" at the end.
Well, let's get down to it anyway, chaps. We're all on as usual, as well as I imagine some of the listeners
are. Why can't Hail to the Chin podcast? Why can't these be on the Blu-ray? You know, bonus features. Why not?
Fishing.
That's exactly why.
Exactly. Once you've listened to Bruce, you know, Sam and Rob and Dana and Ray, you know, all charismatically, you know, intelligently.
That's why we shouldn't be on the Blu-ray.
That's why we should. Discuss through it, and you can listen to us while, you know, you watch along on the Blu-ray.
We're that special feature that no one ever picks, and then a few years later, someone's like, "Did you listen to that?" And someone's like, "No." And they're like, "Oh, there's a reason why you didn't listen to
that." we're that special feature that's as special as a
production notes or something.
Yeah, a trailer.
Right. Nevertheless, chaps, let's get down to it. Wheel on Stars Originals presents as usual.
Yeah.
We can hit play on our little boxes after 3, Sam.
Hold on, let me just get mine ready. 3, 2, 1, play.
Evil Dead.
I hate to be a dick, but that was actually after 1, Sam.
Yeah, you suck with countdowns. That's again why we're not going to be on Blu-rays. Nice of them to start from the beginning as well, with like a sort of a monologue as well.
Previously on Supernatural.
Yeah, the thing is, you say that I'm not allowed to bring up Supernatural, but at the end of it, you've got to bring up Supernatural.
Yeah, I know why. Well, I know exactly what you're going to say. That's one of my favourite lines from the last episode. Hello, pussies.
Can we just say as well, just as a whole, for a TV show, how fucking gory this has been. Like,
language-wise as well.
Excuse me. Oh, God, yeah. Like, it's been more so than the TV shows, and it still doesn't stand out, you know? It hasn't. It's not like we heard like Ash or anyone else scream F-bombs and C-bombs and everything else during the trilogy almost. But like, it's just been quite refreshing almost. A nice difference.
It's just the language of the Evil Dead series.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the same tone of voice is working so well, and you know the gore factor has been fantastic, because I know some people were getting a bit, I thought this was supposed to be the goriest show ever. And well, it is.
Not really, yeah.
They're saving it, you know, for the best parts when it's needed.
I mean, we all expected this from Ruby as well, didn't we? Oh, I love I love all of this stuff, floating in the air, floating across the ground, like from a Deadite, it's perfect.
I think that's again what makes Deadites more interesting than zombies is all the extra abilities, and they
Absolutely.
can like mix all the Exorcist kind of style.
Yeah.
You know, the crab walking on the ceilings, everything. And they're very versatile, very flexible. But Jill, she just come out of nowhere, really.
Yeah.
You didn't know where her character was really going. I mean, you could have like assumed it was going this way, but she came out really. I think it was probably the best Deadite of the series, in my opinion.
Demonic as hell, like really demonic. The voice,
yeah, really great lines. Yeah, they've given her plenty to work with.
Yeah. Can I just quickly mention as well that scene just before this with the two of them fighting just before it when they're looking around at the chainsaw and then the noises and stuff. A nice little take on Evil Dead 2 when Professor Nobi's trying to break through to the real world, and it's like foom, 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 all on like different scenes and stuff. And there, Kelly being flung against the wall, exactly where the bookcase was, where Ash was flown against it in Evil Dead 1. Just so many little nods. It's just
the way Jill comes at him with the chainsaw as well. She holds it the same as is it Evil Dead 2 when the headless body runs in the shed, doesn't it?
Yeah. With the
I love that sort of like camera.
That scene
the
angle,
yeah. Classic Ash.
Couldn't expect anything less.
I don't care how unrealistic it is. It's always amazing to watch Ash do that with the chainsaw. Look at this. I mean, this is like.
I think it was like.
This is top kill.
Oh yeah, all day. I agree, Steve. Absolutely, man.
The blood. It's a bit like the remake Kill, where swallow your soul, swallow this motherfucker. And she just like carves straight through the abomination.
I do like as well how they've throughout the series, as well as in this episode a few times, have nodded the reboot perfectly, because I thought the reboot was perfectly in justice with the series itself. As being a standalone horror, it was still fantastic. And I think it's really classy that they've given even the reboot these nods. It deserved it, in my opinion.
I think so, yeah. It's not like it's the oh my God, you don't talk about that. And most reboots in a series are horror, especially horror. The reboot is the one you don't talk about.
No, I've been watching tons of reboots of horror films lately, and some of them are atrocious. The Fog being the worst one I think I've ever seen.
Oh, I think I'll avoid that one then, because I truly did actually want to see that. So
I love that. At the end of Evil Dead 2, obviously, he gets a grey stripe through his hair, so just rubbing on that boot polish to cover it up. Oh, this is another thing as well, where it goes to show that Ruby has obviously been back to the cabin and put this whole thing in place.
Like a dungeon almost.
Because obviously you assume that it was she that has repaired the trapdoor, and she's obviously repaired the staircase.
Yes.
Because Ash gets thrown through that at the end of Evil Dead 2.
And I like you've just pointed out, Steve, the fact that she's been back there. That's really sharp eyes from yourself. But as well as Ash is almost fearfully placing his foot on the step as if it's going to snap through and fall.
Where he's got to go back down to the cellar.
Yeah.
What I really do like as well is that this time when they do a shot in the cabin where it pans up, you don't see a high school gymnasium between the rafters. This time they actually built a set with a roof. But that's still a great sort of like, gaff in Evil Dead 2, where as the tracking shot's going through, it pans up slightly. I swear it's like a guy,
basketball now or something.
This is a guy. I swear it's a guy leaning over the railings, looking down into it or something.
It's when Ash is running through inside the walls, isn't it? And you can just see the top of the gymnasium lights. Yeah. It's like even there, he's putting his foot down. The last time that happened, Henrietta grabbed his legs from behind.
Maybe it's a rat.
I'll tell you what as well, Heather's character, I was taking quite well to her during this.
This is fantastic.
Oh yeah, awesome throwback.
End of Evil Dead 2, start of Army of Darkness style,
but then straight back to the beginning.
Now, because obviously I like this, because obviously Ruby mentions and talks about the fact that she wants to be the godfather of all that evil. So she makes Ash an offer that, an offer he can't refuse. Yeah. But again, it's going back into that manipulation thing, and I really like this.
Like you're saying, it just again shows another ability of Deadites and just how original they are in horror.
Well, and also how it reminded me of that scene in Supernatural where where Dean and Lucifer meet in the garden, and Lucifer's obviously taken over Jared. Reminds me of that traditional kind of like deal with the devil kind of style. Hence, she's in the white as well. Sam, was it Constantine? Did the devil wear white in Constantine?
Who? The devil? Yeah, it was. What's his name?
Was it with Peter Stormare?
Yeah, Peter Stormare, wasn't it? Yeah, it was all in white.
Yeah.
Shit on a biscuit. Showing. It's very Basic Instinct, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Basic Instinct.
Yeah, definitely. Shame I didn't go for the full.
I love that we got to see that again. The hero from the sky depiction.
It's making sure, because obviously it's got a second season, so they got to make sure that this ends with
with some outlet towards the Army of Darkness. Yeah. Because you never know, deal could have already been made to bring that, because Ray even told us, and Dana herself, that time travel is something we can expect. Whether this is the time travel or this is just a hallucination.
Maybe. I mean, maybe this scene was added at some point.
Oh yeah.
They might have filmed two versions of the finale, because if they didn't get a second season, they'd have to close it off, wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Then it had looked really odd.
Because if they close it off and then get a second season, it's all right. Normally you can sort of like work around that, but it's nice that if you actually guaranteed a second season, you have an open ending, and you have little bits dropped in throughout the episode about how obviously Ash's story is still not complete, and Ash is this integral character in the book from the start.
Yeah.
Something I didn't catch on was he says something like, "Oh, the last 30 years," and she goes 10.
Oh no, that's how much time he's got left. He was like, "Oh, I'd rather have the last 40 years of my life."
Oh
10.
yeah.
How he thinks he's going to live for another 40 years, and she's like, "No, you drink too much, you eat shit, lots of red meat. You even if you don't have Deadites chasing you constantly, you got 10 years left."
No, I caught it as like him saying like something about the last.
And as if she knew something prior.
No. To be honest, that is how I first interpreted it until I thought about it. About after she'd finished the line.
Yeah, because I know he says 30 and she goes 10, and I was thinking, what, is she talking about Army of Darkness? But now I was like, no, that's like 20 years ago. So that's a cool shot.
Only Bruce can act like that.
He's just so good at being so flamboyantly just stupid, almost just over the top.
Back in the basement where it all began.
And it looks perfect, doesn't it?
And there you go. There's the Freddy glove.
I love it. The Freddy Krueger glove.
Freddy glove hanging on the same door frame it was in Evil Dead 2. But we were saying that it comes up again, I think. Well, we'll actually watch, see if it actually lines up, because I think they might have actually just recycled a shot.
Because just before the chainsaw scene, it's above the door in the cabin. And
that's not the right...
Yeah, exactly. I was very surprised that they didn't happen to put it there, because they got the shot perfect.
Because that's where the Freddy Krueger glove is in Evil Dead 2, on that side there. But as he goes through the doors, I swear it pops up on another door frame as well. That's not this door frame, but
it's always good having a second look, though. Was anybody expecting like blood to seep into the light bulb?
Fucking hell, mate. Oh my god, that little kid. See, as well, it's not afraid to actually bring a few more
ideas,
modern horror kind of tropes into it either. Which whether people like it or not, it needs some updating as well. Not updating.
Pedro.
Yeah, he forgets Pablo's name.
He's just falling down pretty hard.
Well, yeah, okay.
But this coming up here, this is perfect as well, because not only
the
is
cabin itself,
the cabin is alive and evil. You know, that's why it's pouring blood out in Evil Dead 2. The book is alive and evil. I mean, when the face is like peeled off and it's just blood, like it's been like an actual skinned.
Yeah.
It's just.
I love the fact that they use the tape recorder. It's just such a simple little thing in the corner, but it's just like the force is speaking to them just all the time.
Just adds that atmosphere, doesn't it?
Yeah. Are you high? One thing that I like about Heather's character as well is they seem to capture really well original horror or an original experience of what is going on with her. Yeah. And I think her as an actress, is like, she nails it absolutely perfectly. Like, she's really not used to all of this stuff. Like, for instance, the cockroaches coming out from her groin, and it's like.
You say that like it's like she's not used to that, but I am.
But instead of it could have been like, for instance, her getting like blood all sprayed over her and her just being sort of okay with it almost. But she really sort of just seems to react really well to just this disgusting like force that just is just playing with them.
It shows you how far like Pablo and especially
Kelly have come,
because, you know, at the start they were like, what the fuck, and now it's just normal for them.
Yeah.
You know, like blood getting splashed on them, and I love this eyeball. It's very
it's like they called
drag me to hell again, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like they called Heather in and we're like, okay, we got this girl, we got this character Heather. We're just going to cover her in everything.
Yeah, we are going to torture the shit out of her.
Find a small, pretty girl to torture.
Yeah. What a great way to get Kelly out of the cabin as well.
This is going back to Evil Dead remake as well, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant shot.
I think, obviously, Dana is doing like an equal job to what Jane Levy did in that of being this badass sort of female protagonist.
I think the two of them are this shot as well, with the camera twisting and then it heads downstairs. That's
a beautiful transition, good. Isn't it?
They really have nailed it in this episode. Everything.
And we get to see our old pal Jake.
Yeah. Brilliant addition, and we were talking to him about it, wasn't we?
Yep.
I wonder if he himself is going to see that and be like, wow. Isn't that a scene?
The gloves back, and that's a different door. So.
That's a different door, yeah. Isn't that a good scene as well? Like, he was looking at Jake then, and all the steam came out. It's almost the same as all the water pours onto him, doesn't he, when he sees Jake?
Yeah, so it's basically just going back that boiler has a thing against him. It's basically like it's a jump scare, master.
Yeah.
How big is this fucking basement?
Yeah, it's a bit big, isn't it? I mean, we do recall as well, even from Evil Dead 1, where Ash goes into the basement again and ends up seeing the projector, and that explodes into him. There's a scene where he runs from one end of the basement to the other, and even that seemed pretty lengthy.
It is funny, isn't it? Because I can't imagine you'd actually dig out this much of a cellar for a cabin. You just maybe dig one room, but...
especially a cabin with a work shed.
Yeah. What was the point?
For this great give. Oh, no skin off Pablo's back. That is brutal.
What a horrific idea.
I think that is probably one of my favorite things in the entire season so far, is the fact that she's basically taken a slice of flesh off of Pablo's back for another page.
She's writing it page for page as well, as it seems she wants to. Ugh. It really is disgusting. It's like, what an idea of birthing another abomination, essentially. It's like something out of The Thing.
It's good because obviously it sets up that there's now going to be things like some other things out there.
Just to show Ash as well. Ash just sits there, doesn't he, and doesn't do anything yet.
And he finds something witty to say, considering Pablo's going through absolute hell right there.
Look at that. I mean, the mix of CGI and into practical effects.
Mm.
It's just done so well.
Mm.
Can I just mention as well how awesome Pablo's acting is, or Ray's acting even in his distress when he's coming out from being a Deadite and then coming back to reality. His acting is phenomenal. It really is.
They nailed the casting. Spot on.
Absolutely.
A little creepy little fuck.
What an odd entrance for it as well.
Yeah.
Like it just burrows its way through the roof.
Yeah, just through the ground and upwards
Yeah.
and out into the world randomly.
Do you know what as well? What I've always liked as well is when we spoke to Dana, she mentioned that she was like, I can't scream. There's one thing about me, I just can't scream. But that adds to the realism, in my opinion. It would suck. I think it would suck if Kelly's character was just, if she wanted to scream, she could release like a girly scream, like a scream of terror.
Yeah, she's got that like
yeah, she's got
like it's like a husky kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it adds to such realism. It's something simple, and she felt it was a downside to her, and I think it works so well.
Oh. You just feel it. There's something about like compound fractures like that. You can just feel. And now this is basically full on torture, like in like the remake.
Oh, not a nod to the reboot without a doubt.
Oh, the old nails.
Yeah, because that was one of my favourite parts of the reboot. Was like, you know, all the nails.
The nail gun. Oh, and stepping on it as well.
They wanted to make it really painful. She should have stepped on Lego. Now, what did you think, you know, with this? Did you think she'd make it out? Because I did. Yeah, I liked that because it was a character you were rooting for.
Mm. I love the doorknob.
so bizarre. No matter what horror is going on right now, they still manage to keep the little tongue-in-cheek sarcasm and just the ignorance, the pure childishness of.
I love this.
Oh my god!
It's
just like rival. It's almost rival Jake then and there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, the doorknob. It reminds me of like in Nightmare on Elm Street, where Fred's like, you know, it's like
the telephone, isn't it?
Yeah, for the telephone, yeah.
Even that, just then, like her torso, just like her spine, intestines, and leg.
I love the drop kick. It's just such a bad attempt at
it really is, isn't it?
It's just like, ugh.
But I think that's what, again, it just makes it just more believable and better because
she would have drop kicked the bloody nails and would have gone for her foot. That's
because I think, yeah, when she kicks it, it looks like a toe gets caught up inside the neck slightly. I think I love the fact that the cabin has been so active in this episode.
Yeah, very active.
It's a force in its own right. Man, Ash is just a legend.
We all do it. Oh, I should have said this in the argument and blah blah blah. Like get ready for something that's going to happen. It's just so typical. Such a bizarre scene.
It's just.
He's like, he's still acting as though it's a kid. He knows full well what it is.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a fucking shotgun, kid.
Not, yeah.
It's what makes Ash so funny. His reactions and stuff. I think Ash screams better than Kelly, so
yeah.
The wonderful world of parenting by Ash.
Yeah. And I like it how this is almost like a little nod to Army of Darkness as well, when he's scattering around, and it's like when he's in the pit.
Yeah.
And you can just hear it just sort of like rambling around and stuff.
There you go, Army of Darkness reference.
Yep. Oh.
Gooey fingers.
But like you said earlier, Steve, as well, they've got to be able to keep it open. You know, they've got to be able to keep these nods there.
Yeah, I mean, they're always going to go for the Three Stooges gags. I mean, always.
Sure. It's still so strange that they deliberately ripped his left arm as well. But I guess that's the hero from the Sky image, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's
such a great
scene. Oh my word!
Favorite kill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As well, that little pan shot when it just slightly zooms in on him when he says it's me. Such a little thing, but it was perfect.
Yeah, I think Amanda's death is probably one of the most gruesome kills, but that's the coolest Ash kill.
Absolutely, yeah.
He always needs something to get his groove on, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
He's always scared, but then something happens where he gets a little one-liner out.
Yeah, and he turns into Billy Big Bollocks.
Yeah.
See, like that just then as well, running behind Kelly. Where did that little bastard go?
If you listen to the music cue as well, it's that siren sound from the remake.
Yep, when she's dousing everything.
That's actually just as well. The actual original score for this series has been perfect.
I just can't get over, like you pointed out, Steve, with the music, like the just clearly referencing or at least a nod towards the reboot. Just everything is just perfect. I can't put anything wrong.
Like the music they've chosen, like all the rock music, has perfectly matched for the show, and the actual score itself has matched. The pacing, the showrunner should be extremely proud.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what he's achieved.
Can I just mention as well? It's nice to see Ash land at least 2 or more shots with his boomstick. You know, because usually he misses one, but like
if he's aiming for her head and he hits her in the
the chest. Yeah. And again, Steve, like you saying, it's nice to see the cabin so animated and it's literally bleeding itself.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you win. Come on inside.
Yeah. The cabin has absorbed as much evil over the years, and it's as demonic as a Deadite themselves.
Yeah.
And I like the way though that they actually sort of thought, okay, these are like basically kids. These are like evil kids. So they scream, but they run away, or they sneak off, or they just stand looking at Ash like, what, all inquisitive.
They're gonna be childish, yeah.
Exactly. I think it was really clever not to make them just straight out of like Pablo's mouth super killers.
Yeah. Like almost like they've got to learn. Oh,
hammer time.
I was going to say, that's hell of a shot. Bum knee.
Yeah.
They nailed the Deadite so perfectly.
I think they gave Ray the hardest job of portraying an evil entity.
Mm. But like you said, they perfectly captured, or they've chosen the perfect actors and actresses for the parts. Pablo, Ray's acting is phenomenal. It really is. Kelly's as well, but just particularly in that one scene with Pablo just switching to and fro.
It's one of those shots where you know exactly what's coming, but
yeah,
it's still brilliant.
Yeah.
Radio silence.
Because we're waiting for the scare.
Reminds me of The Descent.
Yeah, what is it doing? It's just running around being a little shit, isn't it? Poxy Deadite. Interesting to think, though, as well, that, like you said, Steve, they're not just instant killing machines. It's like they've pretty much learning.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if they've got a mission or whatever, but they know what they're actually doing. But they're off, aren't they? They're like just running away.
Yeah.
Which again gives them something to look in for season 2 of hunting them down.
Oh, well, yeah.
Now this was pretty tense because you are like, shit.
Is he gonna do it?
Is he gonna do it?
You beautiful idiot. Sorry for the radio silence, but it's the tense confrontation between all 4 of them now. I still need to know how she has become exactly who she is, considering she's Nobi's daughter still.
Well,
and where was she?
She says she's Ruby. She says she's Ruby Nobi. And we did see the Dark One behind her in Brujo's place.
Of course, yeah.
We can but assume that she made a deal with the Dark One to find Ash and
bring him to them.
But then the Dark One decided to possess her.
Well, yeah, they've gone back on their promise, maybe. Well, obviously, you never make a deal with a Deadite.
Because she was accused of betraying them. So
yeah.
Jacksonville.
He just can't help but be enticed, can he? He's such an idiot. He's just such a douche.
Just watching the end of this episode before, I was just like, he just doesn't learn, does he?
No, he doesn't.
He's a dick.
But when you listen to what she's saying about the fact that when there's good, there is no evil, and she just wants like balance between it all. You kind of listen and you kind of see logic to some degree, but then obviously at the same time you don't make a deal with a Deadite.
Yeah, don't trust them.
No,
but that's the great thing about like Ash's character arc. A character normally starts out, so they make a mistake, which starts the journey, and by the end of it they've learned something or changed. Whereas Ash is just like he's just in a circle. He's just like a character that's just in a dead end.
Yeah.
Like you thought he was going to obviously get Kelly free, and then he was going to have a trick up his sleeve with Pablo.
Yeah,
he's just not. It's just Ash.
I do like how stern Ash is, though, when a deal is being made, no matter how dickish it is.
He has learned sort of a lesson, though. He's learned not to just think about himself. He saved them two.
Yes,
as part of the deal. And in his mind, he's like, I did all right. And it's like, no, because now the world's going to end.
Yeah, you moron. It's like, yeah, but I saved my 2 friends. That's what matters, right?
Right. Hello.
I love that's all he asked for.
Yeah.
$10,000. Just a man of such modest, simple dreams.
He doesn't ask for big things.
Yeah.
I like his work.
The nod of approval as well.
Yeah,
getting the gas money.
I did good, didn't I? I did. I didn't.
In Ash's mind, that makes him like this, like top negotiating kind of shark.
Yeah, exactly. I just saved the world by just going to Jacksonville.
getting gas money.
Yeah, gas money to Jacksonville. What the hell? But it's like we're now just completely back at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about it, the face has just gone back onto the book, and now he's just running away from everything again.
Well, you know, if the book's destroyed and if the cabin's completely gone, because you don't know if the cabin's completely burnt down.
No, of course, yeah.
So it gives them the opportunity to return to these points.
Mm. And the fact as well, he's just covering his scar up with a piece of duct tape.
Well,
Classy as hell. Love it.
How, you know, you don't know that if in season 2, the final episode, or maybe, you know, is him going back in time to not take the deal because the deal goes so sour throughout season 2, he finds a way to go back in time and actually end it all then and there.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I mean, it makes you wonder as well what was going on that radio transmission exactly. Was everything then instantly just falling to shit?
It was the start of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how interesting to see just possibly like an army of Deadites again, essentially. But great choice of music.
Very supernatural.
Yep.
Pablo's smile gets me as well.
I think it's very strong as well. Like the image that they're depicting there is Ash is in the front of the car, but yet Kelly and Pablo are in the back, in the sense of there's still a divide going on there. Because usually one's in the front seat with him and the other's in the back.
Well, they're not 100% happy with this deal he's made, are they? So
no.
I think because they would have, they've been willing to go down to end it all.
Mm.
You know, they would have been willing to sort of like.
And I think they've realised what an idiot he is. You know, they always thought he was a fool, but they're like, is he really this much of an idiot?
It's like we've gone to the edge of pretty much the brink of death for you or with you, and now you've just gone and done
Fucked
this,
it up.
and you fucked it up, and you don't seem to have any sort of. There's nothing new. You're still ignorant. All you care about is the fact that you're going to Jacksonville finally, getting him away from Michigan completely, and just so the Deadites can just completely run rampant, as obviously we saw with the ground opening up.
Who knows what will be left to Jacksonville by the time he gets there?
What do you see season 2 being? I mean, in my mind, after that ending, I mean, it might not be doable budget wise, but almost, you know, Evil Dead Fistful of Boomstick, is it the game sort of style? You know, like an overrun town.
Yep, I could probably see something happening like that. I mean, I was going to ask you guys, where on earth can you see this going from here? Because quite frankly, I'm stumped. I'm literally stumped for ideas of where this can go.
I got an idea, actually. I got a thought. If it was to take a kind of element of what Sam just said from the game, obviously the whole idea of what Walking Dead is, a pandemic, but have it more in the style of Romero's Land of the Dead meets Escape from New York, where you've got all these different factions. And so you've got kind of like
an apocalypse scene.
Yeah, like a similar setup to Army of Darkness, where you've got obviously the two armies plus the Deadite army, and then Ash has to bring two like gangs or something, two surviving cities or two surviving factions together to fight back against the Deadites. Maybe. I don't know.
You think about it, what a brilliant idea. You're talking, Sam was saying that you don't know whether like the budget would be able to handle it and stuff like that, but what a brilliant idea, essentially. Something's all going down back there, and they're calling and saying, oh, well, the Deadites are probably still asking for Ash and still want Ash dead after getting what they want, in the sense of like power over more people. And then Ash has to come back and, like you were saying, maybe lead the military or the vigilantes to, like, I don't know, putting it to arrest, but don't see it happening.
No, it's going to be interesting, definitely. Obviously, Ted Raimi's going to have a part to play. Which,
definitely.
Again, budget-wise, unfortunately, there's no way really to do Ted Raimi as a Andy Serkis style, motion capture, little midget, messed up half Deadite character, is there? So
another Sam. Well, yeah, Sam. It'd be brilliant though if you could have him as Sam. somehow, but obviously it's not going to happen. One thing that I still want to see is if they somehow get the rights to Army of Darkness, I would love to see something go back there. That would really, really, I guess, like, capture everything perfectly for me. I'm still hoping for time travel.
Do you know what? I would be happy, even if they couldn't get the rights to Army of Darkness, if in season 2 there's one scene that revolves around them having to barricade themselves in and haul up inside a medieval times restaurant. Or White Castle or something, some kind of
just a nod.
Yeah. Well, as I guess, like all of us probably agree, it's been absolutely fantastic doing this from episode 1 all the way to episode 10. I mean, guys, I'm not quite sure when season 2 is going to start, but I can't wait already. I'm on the edge of my seat for it, and I just want more because they've nailed this absolutely perfectly.
I think that this is definitely probably a finale that's going to be very bittersweet to a lot of fans, simply because of just knowing how long you've got to wait now till season 2.
Yeah.
I mean, how long have we got to wait?
You think Ash vs Evil Dead has become such a part of people's lives over the last 10 weeks, on social media, sitting down to watch it with friends, repeated viewings. It's going to leave a massive void in your life. And you think back, we haven't had Ash for so long, but now he's back. You just realise how horrible it was not to have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Since the mid-90s, obviously Army of Darkness still isn't part of the timeline, but since then we've just been ashless, and everybody has just been wanting Ash, even for the fact in the reboot they couldn't help but throw Campbell in at the end for just a quote. That's how bad that we want him, and now we've got him. Yep. It's been just taken away from us again. But I couldn't have asked for anything more perfect.
People have been so desperate for Ash that they were willing to buy films like Alien Apocalypse just to see if he turned in an Ash-style performance.
My Name is Bruce and stuff like that,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what you watch any Bruce Campbell project, don't you? Just hope for a little bit of Ash.
I think it's because definitely. Someone who we just fell in love with, as a comic book character, as a TV character, a video game character, anything we can possibly get our hands on that's Ash related is just home to a lot of us. And now that we've got such an incredible TV series to tune into every single week up until now, obviously we've got to wait until season 2. It's just been such a pleasure, and like we're doing this off of the back of our own backs, just because of our love for the franchise and our love for Bruce Campbell and everything.
Love for the chin.
Yeah, exactly. It's everything we can ask for and more, and it's been such a pleasure. It's been amazing.
And with season 2, they're better off sticking with the 10 episode format and the 30-minute running time, just so they can just condense that budget into pure entertainment rather than stretching out the budget too thinly. Like with another TV show that I could mention right now.
I mean, you just look at the quality of the last episode with the blood, with the gallons of blood that obviously came through the door at Kelly. Like, there's just, even the floor, just everything looked fantastic. The budget looked brilliant, and like you've just said, Steve, condense it down to 30-minute episodes, and you get an A-class looking TV show.
Well, I mean, a lot of the budget, to be honest, probably the insurance is a big factor because it doesn't take a lot to get these air compressors and stuff and these air cannons, fill them up with a bunch of, Kera syrup and fake blood and guts and that, and blast the actors. So I think this show proves what you can achieve if you go back to the old style of production.
And hairline budget, yeah.
Practical effects. Yeah. Simple as that. The show worked best because it had practical effects. When Ash blows that demon baby apart, that's a practical effect, and that is literally just a guy air cannoning, blasting gunk in his face.
Yeah, it's like as if they've just stuffed a load of mud into a CO2 fire extinguisher and just gone.
Yes, I'm sure they told Bruce Campbell it was just mud.
I mean, before we sign off, Sam, have you got anything else to add to it?
No, I enjoyed the series. There's only one episode that, I don't know, I felt a little let down by, but that was opinion, really.
I guess so, yeah.
But other than that, I enjoyed it. Look forward to season 2 and where it can go. That's a good thing, it's not completely obvious where it's going to go,
And as well, guys, as this is for listeners as well that listen to the episode, between season 1 and season 2, we're not going to be inactive at all. We're probably going to bring you some, I guess, the same way as we're doing this with the series, with commentaries on Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness, where hopefully, if fingers crossed that Dana and Ray sit in on an interview with us. They both come onto the show singularly together. It'd be great if we could get them both together. So we're hopefully going to bring more interviews to you guys as well. So
yeah, we want to do a remake and a Drag Me to Hell commentary as well.
Absolutely. Yep. So although the season is inactive right now, here at Hail to the Chin, it's definitely not. So we've got a few things planned down the line that we've
got 30 years of history to go through as well.
Well, we have absolutely.
Video games, blah blah blah.
And we got some sort of guest hosts probably coming on the show as well.
Yeah, it's always good to have people from the Evil Dead community as well that can show their appreciation too.
Going to come in, do some commentary for like Evil Dead 2 with us, and if it takes too long for the season 2 to start, we'll start hitting up Darkman as well. Why not?
Yeah, why the hell not?
My name is Bruce.
Yeah, why the hell not? But guys, any last things from you guys at all?
Nope.
Right. Well, thank you for joining us, and as usual, you can grab us at Hail to the Chin on Twitter. That's a number 2. I will always be prominent with that. That's Hail to the Chin on Twitter. YouTube, Hail to the Chin podcast. You can just simply type that into the search engine. You'll find us through the channels. That's where you can see all the commentaries that we've done through the past season. You can also catch the interviews that we've been able to have with Evil Dead and Ash vs. Evil Dead cast. Am I missing anything else, guys? Steve, Tumblr, I believe I'm missing.
No, it's just Hail to the Chin on Tumblr.
On Tumblr.com. But I guess until next time, keep an eye on your podcast feed and keep an eye on the YouTube channel, as we will be bringing you more things. We promise. We can't put dates on them just yet, but more things are coming. But thank you for joining us, guys. And I guess until the next time you hear from us, groovy.
Groovy. Workshed.
Workshed.